On YouTube. Today I'm going to be doing a video showing you guys how to reinstall your rear view mirror. So what you're going to want to get is a rear view mirror glue kit. Basically this is like special glue to help bond with glass. So your rear view mirror, if it came off, some mirrors have a screw like this one does. It's T20 Torx, and that will be in here, which most mirrors have. So you're going to want to undo your T20 Torx, and this piece will be in there, and then this piece will just slide right out. So this is the piece that actually glues to your windshield, so you can just set your rear view down. And what you're going to want to do is, you can't really see on camera, but right in here is where it was mounted before. You're going to want to clean the area up real good, and if you have any old like dried up glue on this, you're going to want to clean it off. And then you're going to mix up your adhesive, and you're going to want to put the mount on here. So just make sure you have everything cleaned up good. You have your adhesive mixed up, and put a good amount on here, like a thin film, but not so much that when you put it on here it's going to push out to the sides and look crappy, because this stuff is no joke. Once it's on there, it's pretty much on there. So try and make sure everything's lined up. That's why if you do have a old outline, make sure you try and go off of that, because you want to make sure everything's lined up really well. But as you can see on here, it wants you to mark location of old bracket on outside of windshield with a removable marker or grease pen, and then you're gonna scrape the area on the windshield and metal bracket with a razor blade to remove the old adhesive. Then you're going to clean it up with alcohol. They must be clean and dry. And then pretty much it just says that you're going to mix the glue up, and then put a thin layer of glue on it. Then after that, you're going to press a bracket on the windshield and make sure it's in the correct orientation. And you're going to hold firmly in place for 1 minute. And then handling strength develops in 1 hour with full cure after 24 hours. So it says allow 1 hour before attaching mirror bracket. So you want to make sure your rear view is not on this. You want to leave it at least sit for 1 hour, which I'm going to let mine sit for 24 so it will feel fully cure. And if you don't have a T20 design, some cars you just have to like force them off of there, and some have clips you might have to depress and then slide it off. So we'll go through the process of mixing up the glue and everything and putting it on there. So I'm going to do what the directions say. I'm going to mark where the outline is, where this used to be on the outside of the window, and then that way, after you get this all cleaned up, you're not going to be wondering where the old one was. So we'll mark it out here. We'll go through all the steps, and I'll show you guys. Alright, so now we're on the outside. We're just going to wipe all the dust off. And what we're going to do here is mark where that mount was sitting on the outside, so that way you have a template to go off of when you are putting your mount back on, because you're going to have to clean off. So this is a dry erase marker. You want something that's erasable. So you should be able to see where the mount previously was and just make a pretty close outline. So that looks pretty decent. So as you can see, we have that there. So that's going to be your first step. Now you're going to go inside and clean off all your old adhesive, and you're also going to want to clean the adhesive off your mounting bracket, and you can do that with a razor blade. This has a little thin film on it, so we're going to clean that off, which I really won't be able to record, and then we're going to clean it off the windshield as well, and then we'll mix the glue up. Alright, so as you can see here, there's a pretty thick layer of glue on here. What you want to do is just try and get your razor scraper underneath the edge and try and take it off all as one piece is the easiest way. I have it in a vise. If you have a vise, this is the easiest way to do it so you don't end up stabbing yourself with a razor. But I'm going to get the rest of this off of here, and then I'll get back to you guys when we start cleaning the windshield. Alright, so I got that pretty thick layer of glue off, and I scraped the windshield with the razor as well. You'll be fine scraping the windshield glass with the razor. You're not going to scrape it as long as you keep it nice and flat. Most of the glue came off with the mount on his car. So I got this cleaned off, got the glue cleaned off the razor. Now what you want to do is like clean this off with like some rubbing alcohol or brake clean or something, but don't spray it directly on it. Just put it on a rag and wipe it down. And then use like alcohol wipes or like glass cleaner on if you have it. So I'm going to do that, and then get right back to, then we'll start to mix the glue. The inside of the windshield all cleaned off. Just use your regular glass cleaner and like a microfiber towel and just wipe it down really good. And then for this, I just sprayed some brake clean on a rag and wiped it down. Got it all cleaned off. So now the next step is going to be mixing up the glue. So I'm going to get this out of the package and I'll show you guys what to do. Alright, so our first step is going to be, we take the activator, and it says to just squeeze it. To break this inner tube. Which I'm probably going to have to put the camera down to do this real quick. Alright, so you just squeeze it, break the tube, then that tube's going to let the activator out, and you're going to put the activator on the mount here. Then it says to go inside, put it on the windshield area as well. And then it says to wait a minute. And it says that the activator and the adhesive are enough to do one rear view, so I'm assuming I'll just use all of it, or about all of it. So that's why I'm just making sure. Put a pretty good coat of the activator on it. I think that should be good. Now we just have to wait a minute, and as soon as the minute's up, I'll be back. So it says to knead this tube, basically just like move what's in there around the fluid and whatnot. And then it says to tear the end off, and then you put 2 drops of adhesive on the metal bracket, and then you press the bracket to your outline on the windshield, which I'm not going to be able to record all that because I want to make sure I get everything right. So it's been about a minute. I'm going to do that and then show you what it will look like once it's on there. You can see I got it on there. I think I got it pretty centered. Just some tips. This is only like my 3rd time doing this, but try and draw your outline a little bigger than what it is, because it's kind of hard to see if you draw it like the same exact size. And then as you can see down there, you can see like, so when you first start pressing this mount against the glass, it's going to be really slippery. So try and hold it as steady as possible. But if you do need to make adjustments, go ahead and make them. As you can see down there, some of the glue from me making an adjustment. Do not wipe the glue off while it's wet, because if you wipe that glue while it's wet, it's just going to smear and leave a mess. So wait until the glue dries, and then if you're really that picky, which we'll probably just leave this because you can't even see it from in the car unless you're like laying upside down, you can just take a razor and, you know, cut that bit off of there. But do not wipe it while it's dry, because it's going to screw you. It will just smear across the windshield and look like crap, and it will be a big pain in the ass to get off. So just go ahead and just let it dry, and then scrape it off with your razor. And then once you're done, you can just go ahead and wipe off your marks, which I used a dry erase marker, so it comes right off the glass without anything. But there you go. You just got to hold it up there firmly for about a minute, which I did. And like I said, when you first stick it on there, it's really slippery, so just try and get it centered if it's not centered, and then leave it there. And after like 10 or 15 seconds, you feel it like lock into place and it won't move around. And then just keep firm pressure on it until a minute's up. And then according to that package, after about an hour, you can put on your rear view mirror, but it says it doesn't fully cure until 24 hours. So if you can, just wait, you know, a day or two to put it on there just to be safe, which is probably what we'll do. But once you got your mount and everything back on there, and it be dried up now after a day or so, what you'll do is you'll take your rear view, slide it back down on there until it stops, and then tighten up your T20 Torx if that's your setup. If you have the clip-on style, you just slide it down until you hear it click in, and then you'll be all good to go. So as usual, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Leave me any questions you guys have down in the comment section below. Thanks.